was glad when they said unto me, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house. Let us go into the house. Let us go into the house of the Lord. Unto the Church of God and Saints of Christ, to the bishop, to the ministers, to the saints in general, I am wonderfully glad and happy to be here on this, the beginning of God's blessed and holy Sabbath day. Still giving God thanks and praise for the gift of his holy servants, Prophet William Saunders Proudy, who was Elijah in the spirit, and also for a pastor who is still here, guiding us into all truth and bring all things to remembrance. I am thankful that God has spared not only my life, but he has spared our lives, that we could even be here this afternoon for some and this morning for others. But you know, with all, I am just thanking God because, you know, who wouldn't serve such a God as this? My God has shown us over and over and over again, no matter the many times that we have doubted him, that he is the one, he is the only, he is the true and living God. So this morning, my text will be taken from the book of Job. Job chapter 1. So for all of you who have your sword, if you don't have it beside you, I'll give you a few seconds to go for it. We will be taking our text from Job, the first chapter, verses 13. That's where we will be beginning from. I do apologize in advance, saints. I am the only one home with my daughter, and she is not feeling 100% well. So if I seem a little jittery or moving about, it's because I'm trying to accommodate her. All right. Job, the first chapter, reading from verse 13. And it says, and there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them, and the sunbeams fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of God is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and have carried them away, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came another, and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in thy eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Then Job arose, and rent his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground, and worshipped. Saints, I am sure we all know the story of Job. Job, in the words of God, was a righteous man. And if we move over to Job chapter 2, verse 13, it says, so they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was great. Saints, we have seen the troubles and the tribulations that Job went through. And you know what happened? Job did not lose his faith. Job kept on going. Job kept on striving. even as much as his face was leveled to the ground. Saints, how many of us in these days and time, faced with so great a trial and tribulation, would still say, I thank the Lord? How many of us, faced with the tribulations from left to right, top to bottom, would look to God and say, I thank my God? We are moving now to Job, the 42nd chapter. Verse 10, it says, and the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also, the Lord gave him twice as much as he had before. My topic today, saints, is who wouldn't serve such a God as this? Saints, who would not serve such a God as this? We look at the scripture of Job and we saw what he went through. He lost his children. He lost his cattle. He lost his camel. He lost all his livestock. He lost his family. And you know, his wife said to him, curse God and die. But you know what Job said? He said, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Saints, who would not serve such a God as this? When you have lost all that you think you have and all that you think you need, when you hold on to his unchanging hand, then we realize that he blesses us with double, triple, more than we could have ever even desired. Saints, who would not serve such a God as this? Saints, let me take you to the book of Daniel. Yes, Daniel chapter 6. That's where we're going. Now, we know the story of Daniel when the king, he sent out a decree that says everyone should bow down when he passes. It happened so that Daniel was a man of God. The only person that he prayed to was God. He would bow down to no other God but the true and living God. And since you know what happened, because of his faith and his belief in God, he was thrown into the lion's den. Now, saints, let me tell you, if I was thrown into a den of lions, I doubt you'd see me alive when you come back the following day. Because I know many of us are scared of lions. We're scared of any animal that looks, and we know what he does. So, you know, we would be scared. But you know what happened to Daniel? Daniel went down on his knees and he prayed to the God that he knew would have delivered him. He didn't have a doubt in his mind. Saints, we don't need to have a doubt in our mind. When we go before God, we must go before him having faith. Because, saints, if he could deliver Daniel out of the lion's den, in so much that when the king came back, he said, oh king, live forever. Because Daniel knew that no matter what the king did or what the men of the king did, God was protecting him. God shut the mouth of the lions so that they could not even touch him. They probably played with his foot or played with the air around his foot. But nothing that they did could touch Daniel because Daniel was protected by God. Saints, we are protected by God. We just have to believe it. Saints, who would not serve such a God as this? Not even far from Daniel, there were the three Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The same thing happened. Nebuchadnezzar was upset because they would not listen to the decree that he sent out. He thought that they were mocking him because I'm the king. If I say something, that's what you should do. There should be no questions to it. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they knew the God that they served. So no matter what threats any man, any king threw at them, they knew that at the end of the day, their God would not let them down. So even when the king threw them in the fire and turned the fire up as hot as he could turn it, saints, who would not serve such a God as this? Saints, we need to stand up for what we believe in. Because at the end of the day, the God that we serve did not bring us this far to leave us. He's not going to leave us at the wayside. Your friends may leave you at the wayside. Your family may leave you at the wayside. But my God, he doesn't leave us and he doesn't forsake us. Saints, who would not serve such a God as this? The feeding of the 5,000 saints. The feeding of the multitude. Now, I know when I bless a plate of food, it still remains the plate of food. If I share it with my daughter or my friend, it is still the plate of food. But you see, when God decides that he's going to work a miracle in our lives, we can take one bread and half a fish, and we can feed 10,000, 100,000, 1,000,000 saints. Who would not serve such a God as this? Saints, even the evolution of time, the evolution of technology. Back in the day, they used candles. If the candle blew out, that was it. In this day and time, God has made it that we have grown and we have learned so many things. We have evolutionized. Saints, who would not serve such a God as this? Don't let anybody deter you from the way that seemeth right, because the way that is right is the way that God sent us. Don't let anybody tell you that you are not enough. God made you enough. Don't let anybody tell you that you are less than you are. God has made you more than he would have ever think to do. Saints, who would not serve such a God as this? I did not come to be lengthy, saints. But let me tell you, God has blessed us. God has given us so much blessings that we are not even worthy of. And we may look at it and we may think that it is nothing and that it is okay. But saints, who would not serve such a God as this? He woke us up this morning. We are in our right mind. We were able to put on our own uniforms. We did not need anybody's assistance. Saints, he has blessed us from the rising of the sun until the going down of the same. Saints, who would not serve such a God as this? When you started out in the first year of school, you thought that, oh my God, how am I going to make it? There are bills to the left and to the right. But saints, you made it through the years of college. You made it through the years of high school. Who would not serve such a God as this? Some may have put you down to the back of the line. They might have said that you would not amount to anything. But look at you, through the faith of God, you are standing higher than ever. Saints, who would not serve such a God as this? They said your goals may be too high. You are reaching far above what you can get. Saints, let no man deter you from the way that is right. Who would not serve such a God as this? He made the sun to stand still when we needed the journey, when we needed the push, when we needed everything to go our way and it wasn't going our way. God made it so. Saints, who would not serve such a God as this? Saints, I have many things to thank him for, because he has seen me through the dark. He has seen me to the light. And even when we feel like we want to get up, we want to give up, we just want to go and be by ourselves where no one or anything can touch us. Saints, God brought us here for a reason. We may not know it. Your colleague may not know it. Your friends or your families may not know it, but you are here for a reason. Let no one tell you otherwise. Saints, who would not serve such a God as my God? Unto the Church of God and Saints of Christ, please pray for me.